Hello everyone and welcome to another photography video. And this video I've decided to do another one on photography. I haven't done a video for a while, so I do apologise when it comes to photography videos that I've done. But I just wanted to do another blog video and talk about this lens and why I think it's ideal for anyone who's interested in doing wildlife photography or sports photography on the cheap. So what have we got here? Well, it's a 300mm f4 Canon IS lens. Now the IS is 2 stops, so not hugely fantastic compared to the various other lenses out there, such as the Mark II 100 to 400 or the 400 to prime. However, the reason why I think this is better than the 400 prime is because it's got image stabilization. Now, IS is helpful. However, if you're photographing fast-moving subjects such as motorsport, sports, wildlife, IS really isn't that useful. So keep that in mind, guys. Sometimes getting a lens with IS, if you're not taking photos at slow shutter speeds, the IS won't really help you that much. So let me just take the lens coat off this lens so I know what I'm looking at. So obviously we've got stabilizer mode 1 and 2. One for up and down, side to side, and stabilizer 2 is for panning. So the minimum focus on this, I believe, is 1.5 meters, and obviously to infinity. You obviously have the option of turning stabilizer on and off. You also have the focus limiter on here, basically 1.5 meters to infinity and 3 meters to infinity. Now you can stick, obviously this is an f4 lens, stick a 1.4 teleconverter or extender on it, and then that'll get you up to the 420mm range at 5.6, which in theory is better than the 400 prime, because that's 5.6 at 400. Obviously you're going to get more reach if you put a 1.4 teleconverter on it, but you're going to lose a stop of light, which turns that 5.6 to f8. And a lot of your budget digital SLRs, such as the 1200, 550, 600, 750D, these are your basically budget cameras, will autofocus at f8. You have to spend a lot more money basically getting a full frame camera such as the 5D Mark III, the 1DX1 or 2, the 7D Mark II. So generally speaking, if you're on a budget, you're going to be using one of the budget cameras. So obviously I would recommend the Canon 300mm f4 lens because it gives you really sharp images without the teleconverter on. With the teleconverter on, you still get some really good results. I would personally recommend you don't use the 2x teleconverter. In my opinion, it does degrade the image significantly more than the 1.4 does. However, it's not to say you can't use it. Generally, in terms of comparable results, if you was to buy, and if you have the money that is, for the 100 to 400 Mark II Canon IS lens, its quality is equivalent to the 70 to 200 with a 2x teleconverter on. That's comparable, but generally speaking, if you're on a budget, I recommend you pick this up. Now, in terms of cost, obviously this will cost you about £1,000 brand new. However, I believe you could pick up one of these lenses second hand for about £500. Then you could possibly purchase a second hand budget camera, such as a 700D or maybe a 600D, for around £250. So for the price of £750, you can have quite a decent 300mm telephoto lens, right, with a crop sensor camera, budget camera, such as the 600D, giving you quite a decent amount of focal length. So that's my recommendation. If you're on a budget, you want a good quality lens, but you don't have a lot of money to get started. So my recommendation would be the 300 f4 IS lens. It has image stabilization. So what that means is if you're photographing something slow moving, I'll give you an example. A squirrel walking along, not moving very fast. It's quite dark in the winter, and your image stabilization comes in handy then, because you're wobbling a little bit with your lens, and that's what you need for that particular scenario. However, if it's bright sunlight in summer and you're photographing that squirrel out in the open, where lots of sunlight is coming through, your image stabilization won't really help you because your shutter speed will be really high. So keep that in mind.